This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity Business Podcast. These are 11 stories we're following this morning at Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. First, Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase says that inflation is likely to be stickier than we have expected, and that the medicine for it, meaning higher interest rates, is likely to cause some serious challenges too. Here he essentially says we could be looking at real stress in real estate, leveraged companies, and private credit. I think he's right on. And I think, as we say often, Chairman Powell's between sort of a rock and a hard place. She's got to get inflation down. At the same time, the more you raise rates, the more you do cause some of these challenges. Second, the Motley Fool reports on 3 reasons to buy Apple stock like there's no tomorrow. I think this is actually fascinating as well, as Apple has staged somewhat of a comeback. They're down about 10% this year. It's like the little engine that could. Still the second highest market cap company in the country, and almost back to even year to date. Third, Wall Street is betting on a blowout quarterly report from NVIDIA. Today, it's coming out. Their earnings are coming out today or this week, and on Wednesday, and we'll see how that goes. That would really be interesting for the market if NVIDIA does really hit it well. Fourth, the Nasdaq is up 13% year to date. The S&P 500 a little more than 11% or close to 12% year to date so far. A great year for the markets. Fifth, the Dow at 40,000, and Yahoo Finance reports on why stocks still have a lot of room to run. Sixth, fascinating story. Iran's president with their foreign minister died in a helicopter crash yesterday. What a crazy world we live in. There's no sense that this was foul play, but what a fascinating situation to see what this also has, what impact, if any, this has on world affairs. Seventh, wealthy Americans starting to spend more cautiously. CNN Business. And CNN Business has a fascinating story here about how middle class and lower income consumers have really felt the bite of inflation, but it's just now that wealthy Americans are starting to soften some of their spend. We'll see if that reverses itself with just the wealth effect right now of the markets just jumping. Eighth, a great story in Yahoo Finance. One of my favorite guys to read, there's 2 of them, Yahoo Finance, Rick Newman. There's also a Kerry Hannon and a Brian Socci. But he talks about why Kevin Plank of Under Armour is one of the worst CEOs of all time. I don't know if I agree with him or not, but Brian Socci's opinions, Rick Newman's opinions, they're really great writers and fun to read and terrific, as is Kerry Hannon, quite frankly. Ninth, VC funding in crypto has accelerated again. And Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z, and some others have been right at the forefront of this, and that's fascinating to watch too. 10th, Red Lobster files for bankruptcy protection. Who knew that would happen? What a shame in any event. That's that. Finally, 11th, I'm excited to visit with some of our favorite guests on the Becker Private Equity and Becker's Healthcare podcast today. We've got Rick Kess from RSM, one of our most listened to guests, who talks about private equity trends. Lon Mapes, healthcare real estate aficionado, talking about healthcare real estate. Liz Hudson will speak to us on leadership. She's just great. Tim Fry and Gretchen Townsend from McGuire Woods will talk to us about legal issues for surgery centers and sort of foreshadowing of their talk at the Becker's June conference on surgery centers and orthopedic spine and pain management. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast.